Adam Bierman, Princeton TV. We're talking to Jack Christie. You worked for the CIA. Basically, what was your title?
I was an electronics engineer with the Office of Technical Service.
And for those who don't know, he's not a wall. He doesn't want to be pictured. Can you reconstitute for us what came out, what breakthroughs, what changes came out of the Lockerbie bombing in the trial in terms of technology, legal defense, and all that?
Well, one of the things that came out wasn't really technical. It was the interfacing of the agency and the FBI and the Foreign Service, the British Service, and the Scottish police, and all of very closely working together to bring this to trial and through the trial. It was also one of the early examples of a commercially made trigger, IED trigger, that today is not so unusual, but in 1988 was unusual. Most devices at that time were handmade. They were fairly crude, and so that's one of the reasons this one was so quickly identified, is that it was commercially made and a good piece of equipment.
And you said that trigger, by a stroke of luck, 2 years earlier, it had been come upon where and when?
The initial one that we saw had been recovered in the country of Togo in Africa, and again was part of a Libyan incursion into the country, so we knew it was a Libyan source there. The second one that we saw pictures of was in Dakar, Senegal, and that one also had a Libyan connection to it. There was a Libyan officer involved in that, and so we already knew that this device was Libyan. When the fragment was recovered off of the Pan Am 103 flight, and we were able to match it to the circuit board that we had in the laboratory from Togo, then again, that's actually, if you look at the press clippings of the time, it was being blamed on the Iranians, it was being blamed on the Palestinians, but all of a sudden it was blamed on the Libyans because of the fragment. So it changed the whole investigation, the direction of the investigation.
Coming from a technical background and behind the scenes, what was it like for you personally, having to testify, go into court?
I just assumed someone else did it. I go back to the old thing about the guy being ridden out of town on the tarred and feathered, ridden out of town on a rail. You know, were it not for the honor, I just assumed it was someone else. And that was it was fascinating because the court was so different. And obviously, I still don't understand Scottish law, but it was fascinating to watch and to be a part of it. But at the same time, I just assumed skip.
Final question: even though there's no definitive solace, I would think, for the victims and their families, do you think justice somewhat was done?
Well, as well as it could be. I mean, the Libyans finally took responsibility for the bombing. The families got some compensation, which, as you said, is not bringing their family members back, but at least it's something. I think the most important thing to them was seeing Megrahi found guilty. They were upset that he wasn't kept until he died, but and also having the Libyan government admit that responsibility for the bombing.
Thank you very much for your time.
Okay, thank you.